Hey everybody, this is GGB Coles Puppers, and let's get into this Coastal Carolina Chanticleers team, because the Chanticleers are interesting. Right now they're getting a better shot at making the playoffs than Northwestern, Miami, Washington, and that's it, and Colorado. So, like, this football team is not looking that bad. Honestly, I mean, they have 2 more quality wins than Clemson does at this point. I'd like to point that out. It's just the point, like, oh my God, how do you have... I understand it's Clemson, but, like, how do you have them over the Chanticleers when the Chanticleers have a win against BYU and ULL, right? Both top 25 teams, and Clemson doesn't have a win against the top 25 team all year. It's really interesting how they're able to keep a one-loss team that hasn't really played anyone all year long, other than Notre Dame, who they lost to, over a Chanticleers team who has 2 quality wins. It's really interesting. I don't know how you could justify that as a committee, but dang, the Chanticleers are looking like good football team this year. I'm going to go over the possibility, the way that the Chanticleers can in fact make the playoffs in my playoff prediction video. I'm going to be coming out. It's coming out next week, so go watch that when it pops up on your little notifications. It's going to be really interesting. I'm really excited to do that video and go over all the different playoff scenarios, but trust me, there is a scenario where Coastal Carolina does make it, and it's really not that difficult to see. But one of the huge things happening is the next game I'm going to predict, so go watch that video after this one comes out. But you cannot sleep on Troy. Now, Troy is not a typically great football team, but we saw last week when you're a team and you sleep on an inferior opponent and you get wrecked. That's what happened to Marshall last week against Rice, and Rice absolutely destroyed them. It was not good for Marshall at all, and it probably lost them the chance of playing in a New Year's Six ball, though that probably wasn't high. The Chanticleers would have gotten in over them. Chanticleers are coming off a huge win over BYU, where BYU got stopped at the 1-yard line, basically eliminating BYU from playoff contention, which is insane. That was an insane game on ESPNU, but this game is a game where you do not want to sleep on if you're Coastal Carolina. It's a perfect sleeper game. You come out of a game you just won against a really good opponent. You're playing a less than good opponent, and you end up getting wrecked. And like Rice did to Marshall last week. You cannot let that happen if you're Coastal Carolina and you want to stay in the playoff conversation a little bit. It's going to take you some help to get you in, but you're still in there, so don't you worry quite yet. Give me Coastal Carolina to win this game, though, and cover. They're just a better football team. Give me the Chanticleers to beat the Trojans by more than 13.5 points. But I'd watch out here if you are the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.